The Mido Ocean Star 200 isn't just one of those dive watches made by a brand out of necessity. It has genuine dive watch credentials that go way back. And now, for 2026, Mido has given it a full technical revamp, and it might just be the best upgrade the Ocean Star's had in years. When people think of dive watches, there are several brands that usually come to mind first. But Mido has a surprisingly long history in the category, with roots that stretch back almost a century. Back in the 1930s, Mido introduced its Aquadura sealing system, a cork-based solution designed to improve water resistance at a time when keeping water out of a wristwatch was still a genuine technical challenge. That expertise eventually led to the registration of the Ocean Star name in 1944. It's a name that didn't appear on a watch until 1959, but it remains central to Mido's lineup more than 80 years later. For the last few years, the Ocean Star 200 has been one of the brand's most accessible and versatile dive watches. It offered a lot of what enthusiasts look for: a practical size, solid water resistance, a strong movement and everyday wearability. The thing is, while it was a very capable watch, the design had started to feel a little safe compared to some of Mido's newer releases. That's where this latest generation comes in. Although it carries the same Ocean Star 200 name, this is not a minor refresh. Visually, it's one of the most significant redesigns that the collection has seen in years. The case now measures 41mm across, 11.65mm thick and a hair over 47mm lug to lug. So it's still firmly in that sweet spot for an everyday diver, but the styling has changed quite dramatically. The case profile is more muscular, the chamfers are broader, the crown guards are larger and the bezel has been redesigned with bolder markings that give the watch a much stronger wrist presence than the model it replaces. Now it looks considerably more purposeful. The previous generation felt like a versatile sports watch that happened to be a diver. This one feels much more like a dedicated diving tool. The dial plays a big part in that transformation too. Where the outgoing Ocean Star had a relatively simple layout with a lot of open space, the new model makes far better use of the available real estate. There's now a raised flange around the outside of the dial, with chunkier applied indices and a textured, grained finish across the white, black, blue and two-tone black and white models that adds far more depth than the flatter, brushed dial used previously. It's also one of those dials that reacts nicely to the changing light with varying textures. Depending on the angle, you get everything from a rich, vibrant blue through to something much darker and more subdued. Mido's signature orange accents remain too, appearing on both the seconds hand and on the caliber 80 text, giving the watch a bit of character without overdoing it. Inside, Mido has wisely stuck with a proven formula. Powering the watch is the ETA-based caliber 80 movement. The headline feature remains the same as before, an impressive 80-hour power reserve, meaning you can leave the watch off all weekend and come back to it still running on Monday. The movement also features a Nivochron balance spring, helping to improve resistance to magnetism, temperature changes and everyday shocks. It's not the sort of specification that jumps out in a showroom, but it's exactly the kind of thing that makes a watch easier to live with over the long term. The bracelet has also been redesigned and now features brushed outer links with polished center links. It's got a quick release system and a diving extension. They're small details, but things like the quick release mechanism is something we will always appreciate, as it makes switching out straps genuinely effortless. Overall, this feels like exactly the update the Ocean Star needed. Rather than leaning heavily into vintage styling or trying to reinvent itself completely, Mido has modernised the design, improved the details and created something that feels much more technical and professional than the model that came before it. If you've looked at the Ocean Star 200 in the past but found it a little conservative, this new generation might be worth a second look. So what do you think of the Ocean Star's new technical looking upgrade? Let us know what you think in the comments. The Mido Ocean Star 200 is now available to purchase at the Time+Tide studio in Melbourne and online at the Time+Tide Shop, and it's priced at 1,400 Australian dollars. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, consider giving us a like and subscribe on the Time+Tide channel. And until then, keep wearing what you love.